Morning everybody, welcome back to the channel. Little update today. It's the 18th of August. The solar panels are up on the roof. They're not all totally secured. The panels that run up on this side here are secured all the way down the length of the motorhome, both on this outside edge and the middle. The panels right here. Now where this crack is, what I have is a 1/4-inch bolt that sticks up through the 1x1 and the steel. There's an aluminum plate that goes over top of the bolt held down by a nut, and that acts as a clamp to push those down. That bar is all the way down this crack except for about 1.5 feet at the front, because I had to cut it and I have to redo a few things. Underneath this 1x1 will be a 3-inch piece of flat bar that will connect all three together to act as a stiffener to try to keep the wind from trying to pull the panels up. In this window here, you may or may not be able to pick it up, but there is an aluminum plate with a fan on it. That fan is sucking air into the cab. As you can see, this seal has failed. The whole bottom end of this is rotted out, and I'm changing it from whatever this piece of plywood and whatever it's covered with is into a piece of aluminum. I still have to take this piece of board out and cover the hole with aluminum. This is where the heater used to be. The front gas tank needs its new locking lock, as that one doesn't work. And this was a little storage area for electrical cords. And I keep my jack stands and penetrating oil and that sort of stuff in here. Sanitary pipes are there. I want to redo this cover, get a new one. This cover was from the water fill at a sani station for washing out your black water tank. I may take that cover off and put that cover back on and use it for something else. But what we're doing today is I'll take you up the ladder when Tusky, say hi Tusky, is not moving the little step stool that I need. I will be up here later on today finishing the solar panels. Now, on my way up the ladder, I passed that aluminum sheet. That aluminum sheet covers the space that window was in. This fan here is the fan that used to supply the rear heat to the camper. It's now my exhaust fan. It has a high-low setting. It'll be my exhaust fan. This pipe is the vent stack pipe for the black water tank and the gray tank. It's going to be moved. I don't like where that pipe was put. And this window here was the one that came out of the side. So I have 6 REC 400 watt solar panels. 2 of them are stacked here. I'm only running 5. This top panel is live, and so are the 4 up there. And they come through into this spaghetti mess of wires here. There are 3 solar glands here. Now I'm going to crawl down. This awning will eventually be replaced. It's old. I mean, this is a 1986. It's starting to rip just because of age. The recoil mechanism needs to be readjusted, and if it fails, that's okay, because I already have a replacement system for it out in my storage area in another city. So I will simply, hang on a minute, I'm climbing down. I will simply utilize that. It's a tarp system that I had designed and made for me when I was in Malaysia for something else. Now, those 4 bolts will match up to the bracket that holds my Chinese diesel heater. So my Chinese diesel heater will go into a box, and obviously that's the intake pipe for it. The old light system, these lights, this will get covered up with aluminum. Right now, one of the things I have to deal with pretty soon is these 2 lights. Somewhere there's a short in the wiring for these 2 because they keep blowing the breakers. I've had to redo all the switching for that. Now, the place is a disaster, okay? So before you keyboard warriors get started, just don't. This is a temperature controller in a plastic box. Annie decided to eat it, so I decided I was going to salvage it because I cannot get replacements. These came with me from Malaysia. And this is what a temperature controller does. Right now it's 30.1 according to that temperature sensor. And that temperature controller runs these fans here. There are 4 of them. And in behind my sponge and back underneath that wire, in that vent, you notice the little wires going up? There are 4 more fans up inside that vent. That vent used to be the exhaust for the propane fridge and the heater unit that used to sit right here. This is my Costco High Essence. This is either a fridge or a freezer. It can be one or the other, depending on how it's set. Now I'll move my ladder out of the way. I've had to move my inverters off the shelf. The bottom inverter is a 5,000 watt inverter, it puts out 220. The top inverter is a 4,000 watt inverter, puts out 110. These are from Car2 in China. They're very well made, and I have remote screens for both of these. The pricing is extremely good. The 5,000 watt unit will not only power my sink tap, which when you've got no place to put stuff, you just kind of chuck it, so bear with me. Back in there, that is the heating unit for my sink. So electrical power will go to that particular unit, and when I turn it on, underneath the orange label is a heater. That heater is a 3,000 watt heater, and that will make hot water so I can do my dishes. My on-demand shower is in a box behind me. I'm not digging it out. This is my little Danby bar fridge. Now I have this unit will be a refrigerator, and I have a small unit underneath at the front door, underneath the storage unit. That'll also be as a fridge, but everything else is freezer. I have enough power to run everything. Part of my water filtration system is here. I don't think I can do this, but I'll try. What you're looking at there is part of my reverse osmosis system. And I have 5 other water filters that will connect to put water into there as well. So there'll be a bunch of water filters probably on this back wall as I dig my way through here. Obviously, I got to put some stuff someplace. I just kind of heave stuff around. You can yell at me if you want. This is where the bathroom is going to be. This is that pole I told you about. I've never really liked where they put this thing, so I'm going to be moving this because it connects to the taps, the plumbing down there. I'm going to move it, and it's going to go out the back wall instead of where it is because it's just in the wrong spot. And my electrical system right now, you're looking at 3 MPPT. They're Victron Energy 150s. The Charge controller on the left is running the front two panels. The charge controller in the middle is running the second set of panels. Now I'm backing up towards the ladder. And this last one here is running the singleton. This was the charge controller that was hooked up when my box fan went off the road. And I have a funny feeling that's been shorted out inside because she's not working properly. And I will show you the results off the screen for the charge units for this. I'm running a shunt, and that shunt is in this box. So all my negatives from everything I run has to go through the shunt so the shunt can measure. So what I have is a series of boxes. There's one there. This one has to get mounted. That's another one, and I've got one port left to come out. So there's going to be a wire that's going to come out of here that'll connect with that box, which is going below the heater switch there. These are for all my ground units. And then everything comes back to the batteries. I have 4 200 AH batteries. The bottom 2 batteries, which are these 2, these come from Lithium Valley. And one of the things that I like, if you notice that little square with the gray thing, that gray thing is a monitor button. So I'm saying that I'm at 91% charge, 13.3 volts, and the battery is at 18%. Pardon me, 18 degrees Celsius. These 2 are Renogy's. Now, I don't like the handle that is here. It's just like a piece of rope that goes through a piece of plastic. It's really childish as far as I'm concerned. When you pay the amount of money you pay for lithium batteries, come on, Renogy, you can do much better than this. This is just plain garbage as far as I'm concerned. Like, this is something a 5-year-old would build. Right? Just, hey, a piece of plastic on a rope. What a piece of crap. And by the way, these are made in China just like everything else. Now, you can see the case here for the Lithium Valley ones. How it's a strong case, and you've got handles on both sides you can pick it up and carry it with. And it's got this monitor function in there that the Renogy's don't have. And the Renogy's were more money. Like, come on. You're going to spend like $1,700, $1,800 or more on a battery. You can do better. Sitting down here at the bottom is a spare battery for my front end for my truck. Now, I ended up buying a 100 amp hour battery totally by mistake. It's a lithium, and it's going to be, I have to buy a second one, and both of those will go where that battery is sitting right now, and I'm going to hook those up to my Chinese diesel heater. The old water tank that came with this unit when it was built sat between this box unit, which is actually the wheel well, and this storage unit, which the black thing is a storage unit from outside. So in that space sat a 25 gallon or 112 liter water tank. That water tank will come back in here, and it will sit right where my little workbench sort of a thing is once I get everything all cleared up and cleaned away. So that's an update for today. These 2 cabinets here, somebody at the factory put the wrong keys in the bottom one, so the lock mechanism doesn't work, and the company that I bought them from are getting me new ones. These are usually used in garages. This is Princess Auto is a supplier in Canada that everybody knows. It's basically out of Western Canada. This unit here is normally is mounted east-west instead of north-south. And I have that sitting there. And this is a little bar fridge I was given. And this is going to be like for pop and water, stuff like that, to keep everything a little better organized. My Snowmaster is buried under here. And it's on a track, it'll slide out. My Snowmaster is going straight freezer. And the 6-liter here from Costco, it's going straight freezer. Now, why do I have all this? I used to live in Malaysia. And my Snowmaster, I was running as a fridge. I got rid of my stand-up fridge. It's about the same size as the one I'm photographing now. And I found out with Priya and I that even with an apartment-sized freezer, the Snowmaster didn't hold enough room because being on pension, I shop basically once a month. So it's a big shop. And we just didn't have the room to put stuff in. So that's why I have all of this. Now, I've got enough power to run it, so why not? I may have to get rid of that Denby fridge at the back. If that happens, then my Snowmaster goes to fridge, and I deal with the Costco one as my main freezer. Getting rid of this little fridge at the front, I don't know what I'd put in its place. It just happens to fit there, and it does the job, and it runs, and it isn't hurting anybody, so let's continue with what we've got. Now, while I have you on the line, I want to respond to a comment that somebody made about giving us the name of the manufacturer so we don't have to buy this junk. Well, sir, two things. One, I don't like the way the roof is constructed. I made that perfectly clear. And I'll show you when I turn the camera around, just a minute, what I'm talking about. Now, you see those two little boards over top of the black pipe? The black pipe is keeping my rear lighting wiring kind of safe. That's what the roof structure is. This is 1/4-inch plywood with aluminum stuck over top of it. All of my roof struts are built like that, and I think that is really dumb and stupid. I've had to shore everything up with 2x6s just to push the roof back up, and I've had to push the roof up about to take care of the sag. Now, the manufacturer did not park this unit under a tree. The manufacturer did not tarp the roof. The manufacturer did not allow water to sit in the roof and work its way through everything for years. That's not a company thing. That's a person thing. I am doing all of this work because somebody was too friggin' lazy to fix a leaking roof. Now, if you live in your house and your roof leaks, you fix it. You don't let it sit for year after year after year, taking out the whole structure of your roof on your house, do you? Oh, you can't blame the manufacturer for that. I knew I had water damage when I bought this. Why did I buy this? I looked at a lot of different motorhomes, and there wasn't very many, and this was the best of the worst, if I can call it that. It's a lot of work. Now, these things around, you see that aluminum? There's very little insulation. There was Roxol in here, which is this stuff here. That's sound deadening. There was a little bit of insulation over the cab, but not much. I am lowering the roof to this level here. So from here to here is 2 inches. And I'm bringing the whole roof down. Obviously, I have to cut out around the window, because these skylights are the only set of lights that I have in here other than lights. Only natural light I get is from back here, and that is by design. Okay, I don't need people looking in here. I don't want people finding out what I've got. I'm very comfortable not having 4 feet of windows. Windows lose a lot of heat. Sitting in these walls, if you can see here, this is a steel stud, and it's 3 5/8 inches wide. There's 3 inches of white styrofoam. Those 3 inches of styrofoam run the entire length of both sides of the vehicle, and at the back of the vehicle, where these gray boxes are sitting, and behind that piece of SurePly, I have 6 inches of styro. You can see part of it peeking out. I have to rebuild this back wall. Now, before you get on your keyboard, this shelving unit was put up for a reason, and the reason is I got to make sure it fits. I have to make sure I get my heights right, because once I get everything pardon me, built in, it's not going to be easy to work with. My inverters are going to sit on this top bar, on the rack that goes here. My Ninja and other cooking stuff, storage units will sit here. My water tank comes to the top of the SurePly. So the top of my water tank is just below, is right about where those X's are. So I can't get a whole lot of stuff in here. That my water tank fits on this storage unit outside. So my water tank will go from the wall to that edge and all the way across. So I have this little bit of space here by the blue box. That's all the storage unit I have. So my fridge is going to go either this way or in here, and it'll get secured down. More than likely this way, so I can get into it. The biggest pain in the ass for me is right here in this mess. This is where that shower unit used to be. This is where all the pipes connect basically back to here. And my plumbing is the thing that's going to be probably the hardest to do. Not because you're laying on your back. It's just because you've got almost nowhere left to work. Obviously, the sides of my shower are low, so I have to be able to raise this up. Not a problem. My roof is going to come down to basically the top of that piece of 1x4 that goes across here. I'll have to move the pipe back up or do something. But these wires here that you can see coming in, that's all my taillight assembly wires. I got to be able to get into there. The diesel heater will come in here, and then I have to plumb off from there. Is working in this thing with this shelf in the way a pain in the butt? Yep. But you see, I put a bunch of stuff together. I had my inverters mounted on this wall, only to find out I had to tear everything back out because I couldn't get the shelving unit in. And once I made the realization that, hey, shoot, you got to rip it apart because it doesn't fit, well, let's just leave the shelf up and just work around it. It's a pain in the butt, but we can make it work. So that's all for today. I've got to get going, get the solar panels secured down the far side and at the back here, and get back to doing some more wiring. So I will get back to you a little later on. And I also have some flooring to replace because Annie has decided to eat it. Yes, there's a lot of stuff scattered all over here, but you see, the thing is, a lot of this is working supplies. And once I put up pieces of paneling like this, I put up my inverters, I run out of wire, I run out of boxes, everything starts to clean off, and then we can go. You can see the clips that are sitting here and that piece of wood. It's just the one piece of roof panel that I put up. I put that up because it holds the lights over the door. This is what my finished height is going to be. And the area between the top of this area here that has nothing in it right now will be filled with 3 inches of styro. So I'll have 3 inches of styro here all the way to the front. Everywhere I can put in 3 inches of styro, I'll put in styro. The insulation that you see here, you can see how thick this was. This was the insulation from up over the bed. That's all there was. One layer in between the 2x2s. Those are factory, those are not mine. So it's like these things are not designed to live in at 40 below. I'm not saying I'm going to be living in here at 40 below, but I want to put in some more insulation so this is not just a summer only rig. I want to be able to, if I have to, live in this thing. Well, this will be my home. That's the whole point of this whole thing. I'm going to be able to travel. I'm going to be able to go here and go there. The 3 inches of styro that I have on the walls and the roof, what that's going to do for me is it's going to make it warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer. This aluminum skin in the middle of the day gets hot. It gets warm in here. That's why I have the amount of exhaust fans that I have. On the other side of the curtain is my bed. And it's a mess. I'm not even going to open that. So this is where we're at. My pantry, all my little spice containers there. Everything will get cleaned up. Everything will get put away. And everything will be a lot better once we get it all sorted out. But when you're in construction, it's a mess. And you just have to put up with it. So I thank you very much for your time. Thank all of those who have subscribed to my channel, even though I'm a small channel. And if you're just watching, thank you for your time as well. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.